to Doron Spielman, who's a spokesperson for the Israeli Army, the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force. Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Spielman, for joining us here on France 24 tonight. Can you just bring us up to speed as to what the Israeli forces inside the Gaza Strip are doing at the moment? Are you leaving the Gaza Strip?
Well, I'll tell you, we, of course, as we committed via the Egyptian agreement, we're in the process right now of redeploying our troops. To understand what redeploying really means, we have to understand that we're looking to see the situation on the other side. We, at the moment, are holding fire. We're seeking not to incur further casualties and not to inflict on the other side any further casualties. We're simply waiting to see if the other side will respond in kind and will stop bombing Israeli civilians.
But there were further rocket attacks, weren't there, today, even after Hamas said that militant groups in the Gaza Strip were going to cease firing. So what does Prime Minister Doron mean when he says that the aims of the Israeli government and the Israeli army have been achieved, when they clearly haven't if further rockets have still been fired?
Well, look, we have had ceasefires in the past, and while on the Israeli side we're halting our fire completely, we understand that on the other side, which has been aggressively attacking us for 8 years, it may take an amount of time to sink in. You're correct, there were rockets that fell once again on Israeli civilians today, but in the same way that we had enormous patience waiting while 8,000 rockets were launched at Israeli civilians before entering the Gaza Strip, we're hoping in good faith that these will, that the fire will cease. At the same time, if it does not cease, and if Israeli civilians are forced once again to go underground, grab their children, and run into shelters, then we will be forced to respond, and we will respond directly.
So does that mean another resumption of the ground offensive into Gaza? Could this all happen all over again? What would it take for Israeli troops not to enter again?
Well, I'll tell you, look, at this point in time when we evaluate the situation, what do we see? We see that we've managed to eliminate a great number of bomb warehouses on the other side. We've destroyed hundreds of tunnels. We can imagine that when the Hamas leadership come out from the underground and they look around, they will see that a great deal of their military infrastructure has been destroyed. So first of all, we believe that we've moved forward on that end. At the same time, if they do not get the message, and we are sending a message of peace, sending a message that we're trusting them, that Israeli civilians will once again be able to sleep peacefully at night, we will do whatever it takes to return the situation to a normal situation where people can go to sleep at night, whatever that means.
All right, well, Doron Spielman, a spokesperson for the Israeli army, thanks very much indeed for joining us. We appreciate your time. Well, let's